May I take permission, Venerable Bhante, dear faithful devotees, brothers and sisters in Dhamma. Before we start our Dhamma talk, we have recite Namo Tassa 3 times altogether. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Yeah, actually, I want to say one thing. Yesterday, our latest Mahatera, Abidhamma Mahatera's 6th death anniversary date. So we done the lot of merits, means we organized a very big event in our monastery. So at that moment, all the senior Mahatheras participate, and we have the special we done a special event and a special kusala. And if you are okay, maybe end of our lessons, I can share some photos to rejoice all our who are participate for the Dhamma lessons. Okay, so
yes, Bhante.
Yeah, I want to show some photos, but not now. Maybe end of the list, end of the Dhamma talk. I have to ask the help from the brother JJ. I think because I already share some photos with the brother JJ. You are stay with us. Oh.
Yes, Bhante.
Yeah, brother, maybe the end of the lesson, you also can show the photos, or maybe sister failing. You can forward to sister failing.
Yes, I have assigned brother JJ co-host, so he can share.
Okay.
He can share from his computer. Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
I can send some photos. Maybe later we are going to make some video. Later we can get the professional, but just not the fresh one. The time that we can show some photos.
Yes, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, this is today is our Dhamma talk. Actually, I think that, do you remember we already explained some parts of the Vijnana, no? Definition of consciousness. There are 32 resultant consciousness. And we already overview of formation as condition for consciousness. And the occurrence of resultant consciousness. And this one, the two parts during the course of existence, Pavatti, the analysis of the resultant consciousness by door, object, base, place, and function. And the condition for registration, Tadaraman, and this is already explained. And after that, today, I think we have to explain the resultant consciousness. No, now you see that there is a chart. There are 32 Vipaka Chitta, the green color. So this 32 Vipaka Chitta, we make the sixth group according to Buddha's teaching. No, Chakku Viññāna, Sota Viññāna, Ghana Viññāna, Jiva Viññāna, and Kaya Viññāna. So they are very familiar. Another Mano Viññāna. Next one is Mano Viññāna. Mano Viññāna. Mano Viññāna, there are 22 Chitta. Those are 22 Chitta. We can divide into 5 group, 5A. The Mano Dhatu, the Sampaticchana, And 3 ahetuka manovinyana dhatu. There are 3 santirna chitta. 8 kamavachara mahavipaka chitta. And 5 rupavachara vipaka chitta. And 4 arupavachara vipaka chitta. Briefly, we already explained. And this is our last lesson. But anyway, we have to follow our page. How we understand all the things we already explained. Because Pavati, we already mentioned the Pavati, you know, the example, the yeah. So now today, Ashatun, off now. Yeah, okay. Sister, okay.
Yes, Bante. We can see. We can see.
Something happened.
Oh yeah, the video was suddenly went off. Now okay, Bante.
Okay. Some message coming. Ashatun, some message coming. Please wait, sister. Some message coming.
I did not see any message from our end. But they see any message?
In my laptop. Okay, I'll cancel. Okay, okay. Okay, now the for these 2 mind element manodhatu or receiving consciousness, some Paṭiccasamuppāda. Now we already about the door object and the things we have to know. But the door is a visible aniyata. Do you remember? They can occur in the eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue door, or body door. So they are variable by door. Variable by door. But the objects are also aniyata, variable. They take visible object, rupa in the eye door, sound saddharammana in the ear door, smell in the nose door, taste in the tongue door, and tangible object in the body door. So they are variable by object. What is base is fixed. Base is fixed, niyata. They always arise depending on the hard base. Without hard base, cannot appear some Paṭicca receiving chitta. That's why in the Arupa world, no any vatu, any base. That's why some Paṭicca chitta also not arising. Okay, there but no hard base. So they are fixed according to the base. But Tahana, the place, also fixed. They always arise after the sense consciousness and before the investigating consciousness. Now you know, but the between between eye consciousness, sense consciousness, and investigating consciousness. The middle is a some Paṭicca chitta. They are also fixed by place. They are also fixed by place. But the function, the chitta, also fixed. They always accomplish the function of receiving, because whatever object they take from the one of the door, from eye door, ear, but this is also receiving only, receiving to the in heart, the receiving consciousness arising. Without receiving consciousness, cannot appear, cannot investigate, no? So that's why but the function of the some Paṭicca is already fixed. They always accomplish the function of receiving. So they are fixed by function. Okay, this is our last the moment we also explain. Okay, number 90 page. Go. Fruitless mind, consciousness element accompanied by pleasure. Okay, so how to say, sister, we can show the chitta process. Last time we got the mean example.
Bhante, any page? These pages has no chitta process. Page 20, there's a chitta process.
Today, you send me the file. Page number 5. I want to show only one. Yeah, page number 5 is the.
Yes, Bhante, I look for page number 5. This one, Bhante?
Yes. So then they can see the clearly, no?
Okay.
You see but the SP number 6 is a Sampaticchana Chitta. Now Sampaticchana Chitta is the between number 5 and number 7. Number 5 is a Chakko Viññāna, either Sota Viññāna, Ghana Viññāna, Jiva Viññāna, Kaya Viññāna. Number 7 is a Santirana Chitta. Now the place and base, everything fixed for the Sampaticchana Chitta. Okay, so we can continue. Page number 19. So the now we can see the some place, the page number 19, rootless mind consciousness element. Rootless mind consciousness element accompanied by pleasure. This one we can say Pali Somanasa Sahagata Ahetuka Manoviññāna Dhatu. The wholesome resultant investigating consciousness accompanied by pleasure. Kusala Vipaka Somanasa Sahagata Santena Chitta. Okay, now this is we are going to discuss now investigating consciousness. There are 3 kind of investigating consciousness. One is Somanasa Sahagata with happiness accompanied by pleasure. Now the 2 is accompanied by equanimity. So according to this way, the Somanasa Sahagata Santirana Chitta. Somanasa Sahagata Santirana Chitta. How we understand it arises in the 2 possible places. There are 2 places, possible places. Immediately after the wholesome resultant mind element. Kusala Vipaka Manodhatu. Kusala Vipaka Manodhatu. Wholesome resultant receiving the Manodhatu is the receiving consciousness, Kusalipaka Sampaticchana. Actually, the investigating chitta, no? Investigate we are talking now. So the immediately after arising, receiving mind, the Manodhatu. That's okay. Immediately after the wholesome resultant mind element, they arising. What's arising? Santirana Chitta. With now Santirana Chitta also between Sampaticchana and Vottapana Chitta. Vottapana Chitta. Okay. But the function. Okay, now you see, they have the chart. Number 7. Number 7 is a Santirana Chitta. The Santirana Chitta between number 6 and number 8. 6 and 8. The 6 is Sampaticchana, 8 is Vottapana. Vottapana Chitta. Vottapana Chitta. Okay, now you can see that the place there is a fixed. And after that, function is a kitcha, is investigating Santirana. After receiving the object, we have to investigate what is. So this is the kitcha, the function of this chitta. Object is aramana. They are taking the same object as the mind element before it. It means the Santirana Chitta also taking the Sampaticchana object, same object of the Sampaticchana. During the one process, cannot change the object. Always the whole process following the taking only one object. Okay, so this way, taking the same object as the mind element before it. Base is Vattu also, heart base. Do is Dwara, it can occur in any of the 5-door mental process. One of the 5-door mental process, but not in the mind door. You see, investigating consciousness never ever arising in the mind door. Only one of the 5-door mental process. You have to understand. Okay, but the next one, Java, another meaning, at the end of the impulsion, the Javana, and before life continue, Bhavanga, 2 registration arises. This one also very important, because there are 2 kicca have. The one kicca is a Santirana kicca, another kicca is a investigating kicca. Sorry, yes, the investigating registration kicca. The Santirana is a investigating, Tadaramana is a registration. So there's sometime the Tadaramana chitta arising, when the arising after Javana and before Bhavanga. After Javana and before Bhavanga. There's the 2 registration mind arising. Now you see the number 16 and number 17. The 15 is the last Javana. After Javana or B, the Bhavanga, before Bhavanga. Now this one also, the one explanation. The one explanation means the 2 function, no? But the Santirana, the 2 function, one function is the Santirana kicca, one other function is the registration kicca. So now you see, 4 sense sphere being Kamavachara Satta, when the object is strong, we can say Balavaramana, very strong, or Ati Mahantaramana, very great object. Because of that, in the 5-door process and clear object in mind-door process. Now you see, because they are investigate, the registration mind can appear 2 places. One is a 5-door, one is a mind-door. That's why the Balavaramana, or the maybe the object is strong or very great object. Because of that, Tadaramana can arise in the one of the 5-door process. Or when the Vibhutaramana, clear object, at that time, Tadaramana mind can arise in the mind-door process. Okay, this is the meaning. This is the meaning. Okay, now you can follow the Tadaramana kicca. Functions of kicca registration, Tadaramana. Object is taking the same object as the impulsion preceding it. Because the Tadaramana always following the Javana. The whatever object take the Javana, same object take the Tadaramana. Because the Tadaramana object cannot be changed. Because why? Chitta process meaning 17 mind moment. The one of the 5-door process means 17 mind moment. All the 17 mind moment, when you are discerning, at that time, after Javana arising, if they have the Tadaramana also take the same object. They follow the same object. The base is a heart base, Vattu, heart base, Adevattu. And the door, Dwara, it can occur in all 6 doors. In addition, in the 5-door mental process. Panchadwara Vetin can also arise in the mind-door process when the right conditions are met. Because all the time, Tadaramana mind cannot appear. Example now, some of the being appear in the Brahma world. Cannot appear Tadaramana Chitta. Because this one also, the only this Tadaramana Chitta can happen only Kamavachara Bindu. And they have a special object. the object is very clear or very strong, at that time Tadaramana can appear. Otherwise, registration mind cannot appear in the process. Okay, so they have the notes also. The only resultant consciousness, Paṭiccasamuppāda, that may arise in the mind-do process, manodvara viti. In when it arises as registration, please refer to the following typical mind-do process with registration Tadarambana. Okay, so now we see, because after the three bhavanga, mind-do process arising, manodvara, the mind-do adverting consciousness arising, no? After that, 7 javana. After 7 javana arising, 2 tadarambana. 2 vipaka chitta. And after that, again bhavanga, void bhavanga. So these 2 tadarambana also, because according to our program, this is somanasa sahagata santirna chitta can arise. This is one of the function. Now somanasa sahagata santirna chitta, there are 2 functions. One is function investigating, one is function registration, and there are 2 functions. Okay, so we can go to the see the number next page. Combining both the possibility of arising as investigating and registration for this rootless mind consciousness element accompanied by pleasure. Okay, so but the dwara visible aniyata, it can occur in any of the 6 do, the eye do, ear do, nose do, tongue do, body do, or mind do. So it is variable by do. Variable by do. Objects aramana. Aramana is a variable aniyata. Why? It takes visible object in the eye do. Same way, the sound object in the ear do. Smell in the nose do. Taste in the tongue do. Tangible is the body do. All 6 types of object in the mind do, Dhammaramana. So it is variable by object. And the base, Vattu. Vattu also fixed. Why? The without heart base cannot appear. They always arises depending on the heart base. Because any of the investigating mind or registration mind cannot appear in eye, do, ear, nose, tongue, body. Always arise in the heart base. Heart base. It is fixed according to base. Okay, it is fixed according to base. Okay, so after that, you see the chitta process again. The showing here, but the Thana, everything. Yeah, the place. Now I think your family, familiar this process. I no need to explain again. So place Thana is very aniyata. It arises either after the mind element in the Fido process and before determining as investigating in the Fido process, and or after the last impulsion and before the second registration as the first registration, and after the first registration and after the first registration and before life continue as the second registration mind. And the meaning that 2 tadaramana arising, one first tadaramana arising after last javana and before second tadaramana. And the second tadaramana arising after first tadaramana and before bhavanga. Before bhavanga. This is the place. That's why place also, and this is a place, the place aniyata. This is the variable. It is variable by place. but the function also aniyata, because now we are combining together, no? Combined together. Variable aniyata. It may arise to the company accomplish either function of investigation or registration, because the two kicha, no? Santina chitta sometimes arising in the investigating place, and sometimes arising in the registration place. That's why the kicha also function also change. So it is variable by function. We have now analyzed the three resultant consciousness, vipaka chitta, that occur only during the course of existence in the five aggregate existence. Okay, so this is also the one explanation about the Santirna, one of the Santirna Chitta. Because now we have now analyzed the 30 resultant consciousness. What are the 30? Vipaka Chitta. Now, if you do remember, 2 eye consciousness, 2 ear consciousness, 2 nose consciousness, 2 tongue consciousness, 2 body consciousness, and 2 manodhatu. 2 manodhatu. That 2 times some Paṭiccasamuppāda Chitta, and 1 is the Somanasa Sahagata Santirna Chitta. The 30 already explained. Because why? Those are 13 Chitta only during course of existence, Pavati. Because those are 13 Chitta cannot give the Paṭiccasamuppāda, cannot give the Paṭiccasamuppāda. That's why there are the 2 parts. Those are 32 resultant consciousness. We can make the 2 group, Pavatti and Paṭiccasamuppāda. Pavatti Chitta in the process, during the process, include the process. 19 Chitta, Vitimutta, freed from process. That's why the 13 Chitta we already now understand. Those are 13 Chitta we know arising during the process. But 19 Chitta not arising in the process. There are 3 kicha, 3 functions. One is the rebirth linking. Rebirth linking. The mainly the bhavanga, life continuing. Chuti, dead consciousness. But we have to understand the 19 Chitta, sometime Paṭiccasamuppāda, especially they are giving the Paṭiccasamuppāda and Pavatti also. But those are 13 Chitta, only Pavatti, cannot give Paṭiccasamuppāda. Okay. Okay, now we have to know about what are the 19 Chitta. Okay, now see, now after that, we have to go our main program today. So I think you are all know about the Chitta, no? So the remaining 19 resultant consciousness, Vipaka Chitta, can occur both at rebirth linking as well as during Pavatti. Okay, this is the course of existence. We will analyze the rebirth linking Paṭiccasamuppāda aspect in the detail in the next section. Now we will look at their occurrence during Pavatti, because Paṭiccasamuppāda are very deep and very wide, the meaning, because we have to get the lot of explanation from the commentary. Because in the Vibhanga commentary explain the the many way about the Paṭiccasamuppāda function and the Bhavanga and Chuti also. But anyway, now we are going to discuss about only Pavatti first, Pavatti. But they are not, you see, for the sake of comprehension of the functions and the place rebirth linking have been included in the analysis below. If we only look at their occurrence during the course of existence, rebirth linking should be excluded. But anyway, now we see our explanation. Okay, there are the two wholesome and unwholesome resulted rootless mind consciousness element accompanied by equanimity. Because now I already mentioned that extra that they have the remaining two santirna chitta. One is a kusala vipaka, one is a akusala vipaka. Both are accompanied by equanimity, upekka. So the wholesome and unwholesome resulted investigation consciousness accompanied by equanimity. It can arise taking the following different functions. The following different functions. In the Fido process, okay, you see, in the Fido process, Panchadwara Viti, it arises immediately after the wholesome or unwholesome mind element. Now you see, after wholesome or unwholesome mind element, Kusala Vipaka, Manodhatu, receiving consciousness, Sampatichitta, respectively, accompany the function of investigation. Now you see, they have the lifespan of the object, 17 mind moment. They are number 5, 6, 7. 6 is Chakku Viññāna, 5 is Chakku Viññāna, 6 is Sampaticcana, 7 is Santi process. And 16 is the first Tadaramana, 7 is the second Tadaramana. Okay, now you see, in all the 6 doors, either in the Fido process or in the Mindo process, it arises as appropriate after the last impulsion, accomplishing the function of registration, Tadaramana. Now I think you know that now you understand, no? But outside of the mental process, in the 6th door, in the door feet, Dvarimutta situation, it arises fulfilling 3 functions. What are the 3? Patisandhi, Chutti, and Bhavanga. Rebirth linking at the start of an existence. Death, consciousness. End of that existence. Bhavanga, life continue. It between these two, whenever there is no arresting Bhavanga, Agantuka Bhavanga. So the Bhavanga Pacheda, or to cut off the flow of life continue. Whenever there is no active mental cognition through one of the 6 door mental process, the life continue, Bhavanga arises, and one after another until it is interrupted by arresting Bhavanga. Okay, now I think you understand, because the between the two process can have a lot of Bhavanga. Bhavanga always arising if there no object, no any function of the Chitta process. Eye, door, ear, nose, body, tongue, mind. If any of the door, if not, no any activity, no any active, or maybe not working. At that time, all is continuously Bhavanga Chitta arising. This is a meaning. Okay. But the place with the variable Aniyata. Because now I think do you know about the two Santi we are talking, no? Two investigating mind. Investigation Santirana, it arises. So okay, now the two can be analyzed as follow. Okay, base Vattu, and they are fixed. They always arise depending on the heart base, Hadevattu. The Dwara also arising. Dwara is a variable Aniyata. They can arise in any of the 6 door or 5 door process and mind door process, and investigating or registration. Now, they can also arise outside of the sixth door, door freed, Dwarimutta, as a rebirth, linking, and life continue or death. Dwarimutta. Objects are also aniyat variable. The sixth door, they can take any of the six types of object. In the door freed situation, they can take the object of the near death impulsions of the immediately past life. So that's why but anyway, you have to collect all the details. The later when you are going to apply in your life, or maybe when you're going to to inside these lessons, at that time you can understand clearly about the why the object is aniyata, why the process and how we understand the process and freed from the process. Okay. About next one. Okay, now see about the place of the tahana aniyata. Aniyata is how as the investigation santirana, it arises between receiving and determination chitta. Yeah, see, it's number 7 arising between some Paṭiccasamuppāda. And as the 2 registration tadaramana chitta, the first arises between the last impulsion and the second registration, while the second arises between the first and the life continue. I think very clear, no? Okay. Now you see about the chuti of last life. Now we are taking the one example to explain about the Paṭiccasamuppāda and Paṭiccasamuppāda moment. Okay. Now you see the chuti of the last life, chuti. Maybe the example you see after that PS is a Paṭiccasamuppāda. Paṭiccasamuppāda. After that Bhavanga arising. After that the 17 Bhavanga arising, the one of the mind door adverting consciousness. Actually, we can say Bhava Nikantika process. Bhava Nikantika process. So, and after that arising the 2 Bhavanga. Okay. Now you see object as the rebirth linking Paṭiccasamuppāda, it arises between the death consciousness of the previous existence and the first life continue in the occurrence existence. Now you see, because now but P is a Paṭiccasamuppāda, you know, this one arising between Chuti and Bhavanga. Chuti is the last life. Bhavanga is the new life. Okay, because now someone say someone now dead and again get the Paṭiccasamuppāda. But the Chuti and between Chuti and Paṭiccasamuppāda, they have the extra existence, Antara Bhava. Antara Bhava. Someone say, actually according to the Buddha's teaching and according to the Abidhamma method, cannot see any of the extra existence between Chuti and Paṭiccasamuppāda. Chuti and Paṭiccasamuppāda. You must keep your mind, because otherwise maybe some of the bhikkhus always they talk about the Antara Bhava. Actually, according to Theravada, no mention. You know, even though during the 3rd Sangha Council, some of the Sangha group asked from the Bhante Muggali Puttrisatera about the Antara Bhava. At that time, Bhante also already explained Antara Bhava is no like this, no other Bhava, because Lord Buddha has only 19 Bhava. Kama Bhava, Rupa Bhava, Arupa Bhava, Sanyi Bhava, Asanyi Bhava, Neva Sanyi Na Sanyi Bhava, Ekavokara Bhava, Chatuvokara Bhava, Panchavokara Bhava, only 9 Bhava. But after 9 or maybe without of the 9, no any extra bhava. That's why antara bhava, no mention according to Theravada system. Okay, this was you should keep your mind. That's why now the Paṭiccasamuppāda Citta, what's the place of the Paṭiccasamuppāda Citta? Between Chuti and first bhavanga of the new life. Okay, so this one also you have to understand. But anyway, again, you have to understand about the bhavanga also, the different places. As the life continues, the many arise. With the how arise. Now, after Paṭiccasamuppāda, 16 bhavanga arising. 16 bhavanga arising. 16 times bhavanga. After that, arising bhavanikantika process. Again, arising bhavanga. Maybe some mental process also arises. But between any of the process arising bhavanga, we cannot say how many bhavanga. But only for the Lord Buddha, there is less bhavanga. Only 1 or 2 or 3 bhavanga arising between the process. But for us or for others, noble person also, between 2 process, uncountable bhavanga arising. Cannot count. Okay. As the life continues, bhavanga, it many arise. Between rebirth linking and mindo adverting. Okay. Yeah. So now this is also one say. Because why? All the bhavanga, we can say one bhavanga. One bhavanga. Then between Paṭiccasamuppāda and mindo adverting consciousness. And at the start of the attachment to existence process, bhavanikantika process. Now, I think you know, between second registration, tadarammana, and avajjana, adverting consciousness, adverting panchadvarajana, the mind adverting or manodvaravajjana, the start of the next mental process. You see, between the tadaram, last tadaramman and mindo or the mindo adverting consciousness or fido adverting consciousness. This one also I have to understand. Between the last infarction and adverting, because sometimes the tadaramman not arising in the fido process or mindo process. At that time, the object not so strong, not so clear. At the time, or after 7 javana arising bhavanga. At that time, what is the thana, place of the bhavanga? We can say the between last javana and before avajjana chitta. And another way, some process also following the going only the until few uttapana before javana also stop. Before javana stop, because there are also the paritharana, limited object, because of the limited object between the last determination, determining if the preceding mental process, end of the determining, and the adverting, also one of the way. Another way also we have to you see whether they have the another way between the last infarction of the near death mental process, maranasana javana veti, which has no tadarammana death. You see, because sometimes the tadaramana between the last registration of the near death process and death was also another explanation about bhavanga. Okay. After that, explaining about the place. Yeah. So as the death consciousness, the maranasana process also have, but the death consciousness after bhavanga as a chuti. Okay, chuti. Number 6 is chuti. Yeah? As the death consciousness, chuti chitta, arises at the end of an existence. So this is the last of the chitta of the every life. This is last chitta. Either after impulsion or registration of the near death process. Because why? Now sometimes the Chuta Chitta arising after Javana Chitta. Sometimes after Javana Chitta. Sometimes after two Tadaramana Chitta. Second Tadaramana Chitta. So sometimes after Bhavanga Chitta. But anyway, we have to know after life continue Bhavanga and before the rebirth linking Paṭiccasamuppāda of the next existence, except for the Arahat who has no more rebirth. And in the case of the one who is going to be reborn as a non-precipient being, it will be the Paṭiccasamuppāda of existence after that. You have to understand Paṭiccasamuppāda Chitta arising after Bhavanga and before, sorry, Chuta Chitta arising after Bhavanga and before Paṭiccasamuppāda. Which place? Except Asanya Satta and except Arahata. Because Arahata no more new Bhava, because they are not accumulating karma. Therefore, they are variable by place. Okay, but function Kicca also variable Aniyata. They may arise to accomplish by any of the following 5 functions: investigating, registration, rebirth linking, life continuation, death. Because there are 2 Paṭiccasamuppāda Santirna, there are 5 Kicca. 5 Kicca. One is Santirna Kicca, we know. Tadaramana Kicca. And the Paṭiccasamuppāda Kicca, Bhavanga Kicca, and Chuti Kicca. They are variable by functions Kicca. Okay, this is a Kicca. About the next one, the 8 sense sphere rooted resultant consciousness. Atta Kamavachara Sahetuka Vipaka Chitta. Now we already explained 2 Upekkhasamuppāda Santina Chitta. Now is coming 8 Maha Vipaka Chitta, 8 great resultant consciousness. Sense sphere great resultant consciousness. They may arise in any of the 6 doors as registration Tadaramana, according to what has been described above. They may also arise as the rebirth linking, life continue and Chuti, freed from the 6th door, Dwara Mutta. The 8 other as follow, because the 8 other as follow: base, door, object, etc. The base, Pattu, is a fixed Niyata. Door is Dwara, the variable Aniyata. Object is also Aramana, also variable Aniyata. And now you see, in the 6th door, they can take any of 6 type of object. In the door-freed situation, they can take the object of the near-death impulsions of the immediate past life. Place Tahana also Aniyata. There are places of arising as registration, rebirth linking, life continue and death are as described above. Now this is Thana, 3 place. No, they are variable by place. And after that, the function Kicca also variable. How we understand Kicca? They may arise to accomplish any of following 4 functions. There are 4 functions. One is registration, Tadaramana. One is Paṭiccasamuppāda, rebirth linking. One is Bhavanga, life continue. One is Chuti, death concept. They are variable by functions, Kicca. There's a Kicca. After that, place, about the Thana, yeah, I think the FIDO process. The FIDO, there are 5 fine material in resultant consciousness. Pancha Rupavachara Chitta. Because now, briefly, you have to understand about the 8 Mahavipaka Chitta. Now it's coming Rupavachara Vipaka Chitta. There are also 5. They arise only in the fine material sphere, Rupavachara. They do not arise in any doors, not in any active mental processes. They are door-freed, Dvara Mutta, and accomplish 3 functions. 3 functions. One is Paṭiccasamuppāda, one is Bhavanga and Chuti. The base also fixed, Niyata. They always arises depending on the heart base. Object also Niyata. They always arise taking concept as the object. Concept Panyati, belong to the Dhamma object. In the classification of 6 types of object. And the sub-commentary explain that when a being takes rebirth in the fine material existence with one of these resultant consciousness, taking a certain object such as the earth casino, etc. During that course of existence, that as resultant consciousness will take only the same object and not any other object. There's also mentioned. Hence, object of fine material resultant also fixed. It's also already fixed. About the next, but the place, Tahana, the variables Aniyata. As rebirth linking, Paṭiccasamuppāda, life continue Bhavanga, the death Chuti, they may arise as the different places, Tahana, different places. But the function also Aniyata. They can arise taking one of 3 functions, rebirth, linking, life continue, or death. Okay. Okay, now this is also brief explanation of 5 Rupavachara Vipaka Chitta. Now they are coming 4 Arupavachara Vipaka Chitta. They are 4 immaterial resultant consciousness. They arise only in the immaterial sphere. They do not arise in any doors, not in any active mental process. They are door-freed, Dvara-yukta, and accomplish 3 functions. 3 functions. And the rebirth linking, Paṭiccasamuppāda, life continue Bhavanga, death Chuti. They have no base, Avattuka, because in the Arupa world, no base, Avattu, no base. In the immaterial sphere, Arupavachara mentality arises without the need for any material based support. Because usually the Nama Dhamma also arises with the base, with the Rupa in the 5 aggregate world. But this is a 4 aggregate world, no any of the Rupa, even though no any base also. But anyway, any of the Chitta, if they arise in the Arupa world without any base, no need the suffer for the base. Objects Arambana, also fixed near them. Each of the 4 immaterial resultant takes as a fixed object. Base of boundless space resultant takes the concept of boundless space as object. Okay. Base of boundless consciousness resultant takes the wholesome consciousness of base of boundless space as object. Base of nothingness resultant take the concept of the absence of the wholesome consciousness of base of boundless space as object. Base of neither perception nor non-perception resultant take the wholesome consciousness of the base of nothingness as object. And all these belong to Dhamma object, Dhammarambana. Similar to the fine material resultant consciousness, the immaterial resultant consciousness also take the same object throughout a particular course of existence. Okay? The birthplace, Tahana, variable, Aniyata. As rebirth linking, life continue, and death, they may arise at different places. Function, variable. They can arise taking one of three functions: life continue or death. We have now analyzed how all the 32 mundane resultant consciousness, but Lokicitano, occur during the course of existence, Pavati. They occur during the course of existence, Pavati, with formations as condition, Sankara, by way of karma condition and strong dependent condition. That's the two Paccaya, no? Karma Paccaya and Upanisse Paccaya. We already, the karma, to be practiced, the conditioning forces are asynchronous karma. We can say Nana Kanika karma. Kusala, Akusala, Chetana, you go Nana Kanika karma. And then the Upanisse, Pakatu Upanisse, natural, strong, dependence condition. Okay. Now they have the summary of the analysis, no? Summary of the analysis. Now you see, but there are 32 mundane resultant consciousness, Lokipaka Chitta, conditioned by formation Sankara. Now you see about the chart very clearly. They have the yellow color mark, but the total, door, object, base, place, functions, we all together combine. And but the two five sense, the dwara, de pancha vinyana, twin fine sense consciousness. There are 10 consciousness. Total there are 10. The door, object, all are fixed. Mind element, manodhatu, sampaticchana, receiving chitta. They are the total 2. Object, arambana is a aniyata, variable. But other all fixed. And somanasa sahagata manovinyana, you can say investigating consciousness by pleasure. Yeah, by the accompanied by pleasure. There only one chitta. There are door, object, variable, but only vatu is a fixed. Dhana Kicha also variable. Only during the already explained, but another 90 chitta, 2 upekka sahagata investigating consciousness. They are object, or door, object, place, function, all are aniyata, but fixed only a base. About the karma vachara 8 vipaka chitta also same follow, same follow. Only base is fixed, other all are aniyata, variable. And but the rupa vachara 5 vipaka chitta, no more do. This is in a, no, not applicable because no any special do. No mention. No, we cannot say. But actually all are the mind do, but mind the no, because the no any dwar, cannot say dwar because dwar vimutta. And arupa vachara chitta also same. And only fixed for the Rupavachara Chitta, object and base. But the Thana and Kich also not so. This is Aniyata. The same way Arupavachara Chitta also, object is fixed and no more Vattu. Thana Kich also variable. And a subtotal during the course of existence and the rebirth thinking there are 19 chitta. Total there are 32 chitta. So now the this is the explanation. Okay. And now they have the additional notes on the occurrence of registration. Tadaramana chitta. Maybe we can follow the next time. Okay. So the now you know about the only 13 resultant chitta giving Pavatti, and another 19 chitta can give Patisandhi and Pavatti both. This is an explanation.
I have a question about this Asanya Sata.
Asanya Sata, yeah.
Yes, what is his near-death moment for Asanya Sata? Before he become Asanya Sata.
Oh yeah, before become Asanya Sata, he's practicing the Sanya Viraga meditation. Because after the practice for jhana, he want to always giving trouble because of the Sanya mind and the mental mental aggregates, the Namakanda. So the mentality, there's always giving the trouble. So I want to reborn without chitta chetasika, without mentality. That's why he start to practice Sanya Viraga meditation. Because of the Sanya Viraga meditation arising nearly that moment, and he can reborn in the Asanya Sata. Asanya Sata no more any of the Nama. Only the Paṭiccasamuppāda moment arising 9 group only. Kammaja, the 9 group of the 9 the one kalava of the Kammaja Rupa. The kalava there are 9 Rupa. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Vanna, Gandharasa, Oja, and Jetindri. 9. And after he spent 500 kappa. Not only his lifespan is very long, 500 kappa. But the whole the kappa he they just like unshakable stone, like this stone, or maybe the unshakable property, just like put stay 500 kappa. After that, they when the right time arising for the come down or maybe reborn the Jyoti Chitta when they're rising, actually the still some of the people, some of the teachers say the different explanation, but automatically the Jyoti Chitta arising, but no any the meaning of the at that time also no more any chitta cannot appear chitta, but the after 500 kappa automatically disappear. Actually, this one also quite how to say. I also know difficult to explain the last moment, but later I will explain.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this is a background of the Asanya Sata.
Yes, that's why I'm wondering, because in the notes I read that after passing of this Asanya Sata, the next life Paṭiccasamuppāda is the Chuti of the previous life that he became Asanya Sata.
Yes.
So in that case, does it mean that after the passing away of this Asanya Sata, his next life is the same kind of existence before he pass away.
Yeah,
Like because if a human, then he
Ah.
become Asanya Satta. Then
Mm.
since this Asanya Satta pass away, the Chuti of the previous life as a human become the next life Patisanti. So the next life must be a human, is that correct, Bandi?
No. Actually,
Ah.
Chuti cannot give any Paṭiccasamuppāda, no?
Oh, but I read somewhere is that the next life of this Asanya Satta after he passed away, the Patisanti is the Chuti of the previous life.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes. Okay, later we can discuss it.
Okay, Bani.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Venerable,
Bhante?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Question is Patisanti. First, Panicandi, Loba Mula, Viti, Chitta Viti. Is it
Yes.
Titi Samayuta or Titi Vimayuta?
Oh, the Bhavanikandi Loba Viti Bhante without Ditti Vipuita this is possible. Ditti Vipuita. Because this is only pure Loba process.
So the question is, if this karma is ripened at the Marana Sana moment, is the jhana viti, the jhana karma, it arises as Upachara Samadhi. So is it possible that Upachara Samadhi can become and this is Marana Sana Dhamana and this to Patisanti? At this moment, can we say he died with Upachara Samadhi?
Yeah, Bhante, I can give an example. Our Bodhisattvas Paṭiccasamuppāda in the human world, last Paṭiccasamuppāda of human world, no? In the commentary mentioned the Metta Pubba Bhaga consciousness, Metta Pubba Bhaga, means before the Metta Jhana. This is we can say Upachara Samadhi, Upachara consciousness, Upachara Samadhi is of the Metta Jhana. Metta object is the object of the Paṭiccasamuppāda of the Bodhisattva. This way, Upachara Samadhi can appear near that moment, Bhante.
The Bodhisattva, that's the Manasana. So his question is, this Marana Savajana here, Upachara Samadhi, and this Upachara Samadhi is normal Manadvara Viti, Manadvara Viti.
The normal
Normal
Manodhara Viti, Bhante, not the Jhana Manodhara Viti. Because usually Bhante, the Upachara Samadhi, also can appear the seven moment also, no? Not the Jhana process, the Manodhara process. Object is this is we can say Upachara Samadhi. Idam me punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu. Idam me punyang nibbānassa paccayo hotu. Mama punya bhagang sabba sattanang bhajemi te sabbe me samang punya bhagang labhantu. Buddha Sasanang Chirang Tithatu. Buddha Sasanang Chirang Tithatu. Buddha Sasanang Chirang Tithatu. Sadhu.